Heat exchange is very important in all organisms. One thing to know is that if you have a surface to area to volume ratio, smaller surfaces, then it is easy to lose heat or gain heat real quick. But as your body size increases, then it becomes a little more challenging with respect to heat loss or gain, especially if you are an ectotherm. As I said, there are variations that take place in different organisms. So, for example, aquatic ectotherms, some of them can maintain the same temperature as the water. Um, if you look at, for example, tuna, the muscles actually are, some of them are darker than other muscles, and darker surfaces can absorb a lot of heat, especially if you live in cold water. Also, with tuna, you have a close arrangement of your blood vessels, making it easier to transfer heat through different parts of muscles. So, darker muscles absorb more heat, thus keeping the temperature high, especially if you are in a colder habitat. But what about terrestrial ectotherms? What can they do? How can they increase or cool the temperatures? Well, they can do this in many ways. One is to simply move, so through behavior. Some insects and reptiles, of course, they can bask in the sunlight to warm up. Lizards play a, because they are reptiles and ectotherms, they are prime example. So if you find them in regions where it's too hot, they will usually seek water to cool themselves, and if it's too cold, they simply bask in the sun. But nevertheless, ectotherms can adapt, as well as change their behavior when the when in these specific environments. Now, what does climate change have to do with this? Well, because areas that are hot are becoming hotter, then you do have organisms, ectotherms, having to change their behaviors as well as adapt to these changing climates.